Good Friday morning, everybody, from the home office of the First Defense Doppler 3 Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Austen Onek. Friday morning looking quiet and no major problems whatsoever where it comes to the weather as we get into the holiday weekend. If you do have outdoor plans, looks pretty good for all the way across the Mid-South into the course of the weekend for barbecuing, travel, parties, parades, whatever it is you've got going on, or just taking a nap in the backyard under a nice shady tree also looks pretty nice. We'll talk more about what the complete forecast looks like in just a little bit, so no problems here. We'll also take a look and see what's going on down in the tropics and see a little bit more about what's going to be happening up the East Coast as former Hurricane Hermine makes its way up that direction. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little while. Getting started, as we always do, taking a look at some of the cameras from around the Mid-South area on the WeatherBug system, showing you again no major problems across the Mid-South or points beyond. Some beautiful dry air across much of the area, and points beyond up and down the Mississippi and into parts of Arkansas, over portions of areas of Middle Tennessee, eastern Arkansas, and into around the rest of the Mid-South area. Not doing too bad. If you'd like to see more of these cameras, go to WREG.com/webcams. As of right now, looking at a UV index today of 9. Going to be rather a lot of sunshine out there, so don't forget the sunblock for today. A very good idea just to make certain that we avoid the possibility of skin cancer, so please make certain that you're taking that into account. Again, we're talking about very high levels of UV radiation. Shirt, hat, and sunscreen are a must, and seek shade when possible. And again, always remember, if you're swimming, to reapply that sunblock courtesy of the EPA EnviroFacts page. AQI, the air quality index, showing a moderate 74 for today, but expecting an even higher 87 as we go into Saturday. The atmosphere has been decently quiet, and that means kind of stagnant, so we don't have, again, a lot of anything in the way of very clear air coming on through. Now, right now, conditions are not that bad. We're looking at an AQI of 27 as of 7 o'clock this morning. That's ozone. Particles are at 18, also green or good, but later on today, it looks like that air quality is going to degrade, going to around a 74. So very nice in the way of dry air finally across much of the area. Dew points at this time back to around 60 degrees in Memphis, and anything below that, that's coming into around decently comfortable. A little bit on the more humid side down to the south of us around portions of the Gulf of Mexico and the southern states, but back to the north, some very calm and dry conditions. 40 in the way of dew points up around Wisconsin and the Great Lakes. For us, this is not bad conditions out there. Weather on this page, courtesy of pivotalweather.com. Thanks for the use of their graphics there to demonstrate what's going on with the dew point. We don't have, again, a lot going on. High pressure, again, is in control from Hudson Bay down to the Mississippi, and that includes the Mid-South as air around high pressure rotates counterclockwise or clockwise, and that's going to be moving in a lot of cool, dry air and sticking around for a little bit. Meanwhile, what's left of Hermine gets shuttled up the East Coast and causes even more problems for the holiday weekend going on through. So watching this storm system over the next few days is over Florida this morning, going to be heading up over southern Georgia and into parts of the Carolinas. So this could be a very big problem for vacation plans on the Outer Banks, Chesapeake Bay, and up into the Delmarva Peninsula. So if you are going to be heading that direction into around areas east of the Mid-South, that's going to be shunting well on over to the east of us, and nothing in the way of rainfall really expected anytime soon as high pressure remains in control over much of the area. Currently, again, Hermine is a tropical storm. It was a hurricane briefly last night, and it's going to be over the next couple of days working its way through the Carolinas as a tropical storm, unless it gets downgraded to a tropical depression. But then it looks like it's going to remain a tropical storm. Remember, again, low pressure rotates counterclockwise, so this is going to be able to draw in a lot of moisture from off the Atlantic and dumping it into around portions of the East Coast states. That going to be interesting to see what happens as Hermine wanders its way northward toward New England. Directions after that, it could go anywhere within this hatched circle area. So this is something we are going to have to watch very carefully. The storm in the middle of the Atlantic still having problems with a lot of dry air in place, so not seeing a lot of good news on this just yet, but still tracking it. And Gaston, a tropical storm now, winds just below hurricane strength and moving off to the east at about 15 miles an hour, so no threat to land at this point in time. Heavy amounts of rainfall possible with this storm system over the next about 72 hours, including 6 inches plus once it winds up over the Atlantic again and sits over its power supply. We could be looking at a foot of rainfall just offshore, and some of that rainfall on the Delmarva Peninsula, New Jersey, and down toward areas of the Carolinas could be causing some more problems that direction. So we will be watching with a lot of interest to see more about what actually happens. There's great places you can go to track the conditions as to what's going on with these storms, including buoys and ground stations, and plenty of them along the track of Hermine's path. If you'd like to know more, go to the National Data Buoy Center out across the area, National Data Buoy Center. That's ndbc.noaa.gov. You could filter those and see a little bit more about what's going on and where and what those are actually showing at this time. So again, looking at great amounts of information from these particular locations if you want to keep track of that. Here in the Mid-South, probability for widespread hazardous weather is very low. Dry air in place, keeping things rather nice and not seeing any major problems out there. Rest of the day today, looking at gorgeous conditions, lower to mid 80s. Have not seen these for quite some time in the area, so very nice out there. Once again, dew points rather low, back in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Haven't seen that for a while, which means our heat index temperatures out there are not going to be that bad into the rest of the day today. Looking at some very mild numbers out there. Low temperatures overnight tonight, back in the lower to mid 60s. Friday night football, no problems at all. Looking at temperatures by kickoff tonight, probably back into around the mid to upper 60s or so, into the lower to mid 70s. So some very comfortable numbers out across much of the area. Highs on Saturday back in the mid to upper 80s. Lows Saturday night back in the upper 60s to lower 70s across much of the area. And high temperatures on Sunday, a little warmer, close to normal, but not quite there. Upper 80s to lower 90s. And skipping ahead to Monday, high temperatures once again back into around the lower to mid 90s, so very close to where we should be, but nothing showing up in the way of showers or thunderstorms across the area, so definitely good news there. It will be humid once again as the dew point rises on up to the lower 70s as we get into the course of Monday afternoon and evening. So expecting the possibility of some very warm numbers, including heat index numbers Monday into around the lower to mid 90s easily across much of the area. For tonight, we may see, if the clouds are parting well enough, an iridium flare, which will be showing up into the area of the southeastern skies just to around the Summer Triangle area between Aquila, Lyra, and Cygnus. It'll be just on down between the large square of stars in Pegasus and down toward Capricornus, the Sea Goat. It'll be traveling again from north to south, and it'll be happening right about 8:58 this evening, about 8:58 and 20 seconds. It'll get very bright for a few seconds, and then it'll fade away just as quickly as the Iridium satellites solar panels reflect the sun's light, and that's what you'll see briefly as it aligns at the right point in time. But that's going to be about it. There's really not much of anything else to be seen for this evening, so unfortunately we're not looking at anything else in the way of very good viewing conditions out there for anything. The brightest stuff out there tonight will be pieces of space junk, a Research 01 rocket body and a USA 186 rocket body, both tonight, but very dim and doubtful to be able to see anything there. If you'd like to give it a try for some stargazing out there, you can take a look at Venus and Jupiter on either side of the newly crescent moon just right after sunset. So that'll be a good opportunity to see stuff there. More information available from earthsky.org if you'd like to see more about what's going on out there. And for the weekend, also looking pretty good. The moon, Venus, and Jupiter will be seen again close to sunset just afterwards in that area. Mercury, probably not going to be too lucky to see that right there. And heading through the rest of the weekend on Sunday, the 4th, crescent moon will be very close to the star Spica, and if you'd like to see a little bit more about that, great opportunity to see more about the constellation of Virgo the Maiden. More information about that again at earthsky.org. And the Memphis Astronomical Society will not be holding their monthly meeting taking place because of the Labor Day holiday weekend. It will be next week, September the 9th at Christian Brothers University. If you'd like to know more about that, head to memphisastro.org for more details. Check out my social media pages, facebook.com/Austen Onek, WREG, for some great sunrise pictures out there, including a very nice one from Andrea Schultz from Terrell, Arkansas on I-55. Beautiful view from this morning. So thanks for sending that along. And thanks to everybody else for keeping track of what's going on out there through my Twitter page at twitter.com/aonek_WREG3. Weather forecast, science, tropical weather information, all kinds of neat stuff. Some great sunrise pictures up there. Thanks to Becky Elliott from AccuWeather for a very nice view of Hermine working its way from darkness to light as the sun rises, and the main storm system again now onshore, making its way up through the southern United States. So a lot more information available there, and also available on Google Plus at Austen Onek if you'd like to see more about what's going on there. Questions, concerns, comments, ideas, anything like that, please let me know at austin.onek@wreg.com, bottom of your screen there. We'll have updates on your forecast. Of course, Todd Demers will have more coming up on News Channel 3 live at 9, so stay tuned for that. Also on News Channel 3 at noon, Tim and Jim getting things ready to go for First at 4 and following for the evening shows, and they'll get you updated on Friday Night Football schedule as well. And of course, yours truly will have more information throughout the rest of the first 2 days of the holiday weekend coming up, Saturday and Sunday, and Todd will be back with you on Labor Day Monday for more information about the forecast there. So I've got you covered throughout the weekend for weather, so if you'd like to know more, just tune it in to News Channel 3, either on air or online for more details. Live and direct from the home office of the News Channel 3 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Austen Onek. Thanks for joining me for the latest edition of News Channel 3's exclusive video weather blog, Weather Overtime, and stay tuned for more weather throughout the rest of the weekend on News Channel 3.